how would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Alexis joining us. He's based in London, but he's joining us from Spain today. And he's an entrepreneur that a number one bestseller of Cashing Out and a special advisor to founder. Yeah. So, Alexis, tell us, what are the 5 steps you recommend entrepreneurs to make the first million?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
To make their first million.
Yes.
Okay. Step no, work hard.
Mhm.
Like, do not listen to much work, lifestyle, extravagance out there. Like, you work a lot. Step 2, have a plan, but be ready to adapt. Have a plan, but don't fall in love with your plan. 3, A players. The minute you recruit 3 B or C player, recruit 1 A player. Better investment. Step 4, get help from people that's been there and done that. Enter, find somebody who can help you, even if you cannot afford. Entrepreneurs love to tell their story. We all are lit. We love to be loved. We love to help people. Just ask. People will. That was 4, right? And step 5, do not confuse what's urgent with what's important.
That's fantastic, Alexis. And I like your step 1 that it says work hard, because sometimes people they can get lost in translation, right? And you can hear people, that you can say, okay, you don't need to work hard to make money. Okay, let me tell you something. For you to realize that, you need to have grown £1 million company first. And in order for you to do that, if you don't work hard, and I translate meaning, I always said, Alexis, that being an entrepreneur is skill. It's not for everybody can become a good entrepreneur. The more you practice, the better you become. Now, practicing becoming an entrepreneur is literally hard work, because you have to fail and come back, fail and come back, fail and come back. And if somebody comes here without building any business, without even having to reach the $1 million mark in the business, and it's come to tell you, Alexis, no, Alexis, you're mistaken, you are old school, this doesn't apply anymore, you can make a million, you don't need to work hard. So what message do you have to these people that they never make a million, and they are all over the social media sending that message, that I don't think that this is accurate. I think I agree more. I'm more enrolled with what you just said. Look, you work hard, you develop the skill. After, you can sit, because I bet, Alexi, that you don't need to work hard to make a million, but you don't need to work hard to make a million now.
Now,
But
no.
what now? No. But how you go? Tell us
The
how you
first
got
one,
there.
yes.
Tell us how you got there. You know what I mean?
Because before,
So people only see Alexis now, and they see where Alexis doesn't need to work hard and to make money. And you know what? I'm gonna do the same. And I say, well, hold on a minute. How he land in this position? So tell us a little bit about the journey, Alexis, so people know the truth of the entrepreneurs who want to be entrepreneur. What is actually happening? How it actually works?
yeah,
They
I'm
better
gonna do
listen, because you done it. There, you've been there and done it. So are you
just,
really old school, or you
yeah,
telling the truth?
I can be both.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. A story first, because when you're an entrepreneur, if you're even a little successful, you have all the family friends who said, "Oh, my son wants to be an. Can you see him and give him an advice?" And so on. We get that all the time. Always do the same thing. So you have these kids who come like 18, 20, and then I said, "Okay, so you want to be an entrepreneur? She said, yeah. Price, yeah. So, okay. I give them a copy of Fortune 500 and they say, you take the magazine, you go home, look at the CEO founders of the Fortune 500 companies. 2 weeks, you come back and tell me what they have in common. Super hard question because they come from every different background, like high diploma, and the answer is they all work 16 hours per day. So to tell you how I get there, but first of all, my story is way more a story of failure than it is a story of success, right? It's like, yeah, you see the success at the end, but I had so many before that. Like I started my first company, import export of cosmetic products. Still pissed on me for that. Many things that I started up until I got lucky. Luck is also a big part of it, never forget. So I started New Access 2000. At the beginning, it was a bespoke development company. So we're developing internet applications. 2003, we acquired the source code of a bankrupt company. To that day, I don't understand how they managed to get bankrupt, but it's a company that did electronic document management system for private banks. We built from there, and we were super successful till 2008. You got the global financial crisis, right? So basically, we lost 75% of our revenue. So, and that's to mortgage my house. It was really bad time till 2015. So 2008 to 2015, I call it the grind, really a proper grind. And 2015, we started to get by some creative accounting, you could even say we were back to break even. And that's why the private equity came and made me an offer I couldn't refuse. I couldn't refuse, pretty much.
Then, Alexis, I think if I tell you stories, mine story, I will depress you. Of once I have a crazy idea to open a restaurant, I lost 200,000. My girlfriend back in that I had there, it was a total disaster. So, the question that I want to ask you is relating tech, right? Because 1 out of 5 people that come to this podcast on Unstoppable, how to make your first million, they are tech entrepreneurs, tech multimillionaires. Again, our audience might have a little bit of false belief or that, wow, what is so many tech multimillionaires coming to Harry's podcast? It's easy to become a millionaire in tech, and it's easy to so I'm gonna make a tech business and become a millionaire, right? The truth is, and this is on the narrow, Alexis, that tech is a very good vehicle because 1 out of 5 come here either from property or from tech to this broadcast. So that's true. However, it might be that maybe we only listen the story of the winners and the 98% tech companies that fail around them nobody never heard about, and more people are doing tech, or there are some good things like scalability, but look at you, something happened in business and you lost 75% of the revenue. Look at that. um, tech tech, the valuation of tech business, I'm aware that is much better than other traditional business, but you've been there, you built it when everything was working. Something happened. Tell me about. I have my latest, one of my latest business. It was a speaking and training company. So we've been doing speaking tours in Singapore, Dubai, Peru, Mexico, and then we have literally thousands of people waiting for us to do these speaking tours about the speakers and leaders. And when everything was going amazing, guess what happened? COVID come. I was in a
Exactly.
tour. I was in a speaking tour. They cut me in Peru. They closed the airport in Peru. I was in Peru. We supposed to travel the whole country doing talks, and I'm in Peru and say, okay, what would you do now? Because we really need people. This is what all this business is about.
Yeah.
I'm doing conference. And look, one of the things I'm doing now is podcast. Yeah. So every you had to adapt to what
Pivot.
happened to you. Yeah. So tell us, Alexi, the good, the bad, on the ugly of tech businesses? No one better than you to answer this question.
Well, first of all, don't let people tell you tech is easy. Tech is super hard.
I agree with you.
First of all, it's very hard to find a differentiator in tech. Everybody in his good at tech, right? Oh, I'm a good programmer. I understand AI. I'm gonna tech. Tech is hard. And you know what? Tech is it's not a goal. You use tech to do stuff. What's important is the stuff you do. Our tech company was actually pretty because there was, well, it's 2000s, so no AI. There was no it was just the beginning of the advanced programming, the .NET and the Java that was just starting. So we're pretty low tech. I'm an absolute mediocre engineer. So when I started the company, it was me and my best friend, literally, and he was doing most of the coding, but I was helping. And when we reached like 4 or 5 people, one day they all came to my office and said, "Listen, so you're not going to be coding anymore." Said, "Excuse me?" Said, "Yeah, no. So we're correcting your bugs, then we spend rewriting the stuff. So you're going to go to, and you're not allowed near a keyboard anymore." So I was fired from my coding job and stuff. But tech is a mean. It's not a, oh, I'm going to do tech. No, what are you trying to achieve? What is the pain list? Always like, what is the pain list? Once in a blue moon, you have a pure blue horizon company that creates something nobody knew. Yeah, that happened, like WhatsApp or Apple, but that's not like 98% of the companies. Okay, what's the pain list? Missing. I have a heart attack, so I take 13 pills a day, a pain in the neck to put them in little boxes. I keep thinking, okay, that's my. You can do the one pill company. You send your prescription, they put everything in one pill, and you swap the pill. That's a free idea I give. What's the pain you're correcting? I pay so much for sending text, and it's not convenient. WhatsApp. You know what I mean? What's the pain you're correcting? More than the tech is a mean.
And they telling me, Alexis, I help some tech companies to grow. I give them some advice. I look at what they're doing, and I usually give them some advice. But I hear a lot from tech entrepreneurs that they say, Harry, you don't understand. Tech is different. And the more I see tech, the more I see similarities with the traditional business. I said, it's not different. If you don't make a profit, you're dead. If you don't sell your product, you're dead. If you take all your money, all your resources and everything, and you keep writing code because this is what you like to do, and you come to me, Harry, you don't understand because Mark Zuckerberg wrote code. I don't know, Steve Jobs wrote code. The Google guys wrote code, and they become billionaires. I'm gonna become billionaire, and I'm gonna take all the money, all the energy, all the resources, and I'm gonna be this big elephant. Then and by the way, I'm not asking anybody if they want to buy it or not, because this big elephant, I know that will save the world. So I'm gonna take all the money of the resources, and when they finish, I'm gonna ask to my family, I'm gonna ask to my friends, I'm gonna remortgage my house, I'm gonna create this big elephant. And after they have this big elephant, they don't even have the energy, the time, and the resources, because now the elephant is expensive to maintain, to go and show it to someone. And actually, Alexis, in this podcast, those millionaires tech entrepreneurs that had showed at least to this one, we find out, number one, that most of them, they are not tech people. They are actually specialized more in marketing and sales. They understand how to show a product to a market and how to listen to the clients and how to adapt and how to communicate with the software developer team and then look, guys, we need the product as it is in that form, and make sure you make it for that price, because this is how the people want to buy it. It's not how you want to create it, it's how the market want your product. Yeah, these are the tech successful people that come here to this podcast at least. And listen, Alexis, the developers like you, yeah, they come here, they have been successful, and they spend the whole podcast talking about sales, marketing, like you, even saying, look, I've been fired from my tech. Well, you know what? Your job was key, because it was for people writing code, but without you, I bet they won't have nothing. They will end up in zero because someone needs to go and show they took the best decision. They were very clever. They realized that, hold on a minute, he's good and something more valuable than this writing code. So then Alexis, tell us, is it a myth or because I think people are seeing these role models and they get inspired and then they go on their business, then 90% of the company fail and they don't understand what's going on. So like me, because you've been there and done it. So
Okay, first of all, tell this guy an absolute truth, look them straight in the eyes and tell them something that's really gonna hurt them. Nobody give a flying fuck about your code. Nobody care about your code. They care what your product does. Also, the tech entrepreneurs, which one? Steve Jobs? Jeff Bezos? Are they coders? Steve Jobs could not code to save his life. Jeff Bezos is not a coder. These guys are marketing people.
Elon Musk, or
He wrote a line of code in his life. One exception, Breen from Google. Google is one of the rare companies that got success better.
one
But that's
exception, Alexis. Exactly. Look what I say. You say one. It's not like the role model, right?
their code so much better than marketing people find a way to manage. It's there. It's like it's the pain list. It's what product are you solving and how fast, quickly, and painless you can have it. Don't build, as you call it, an elephant. Just what's the fastest way. We all make the same mistake, and I did that millions of times. We all think that
don't blame them. We don't blame the startup founders. We are in love with pro. This is we are there the first time that we had the company.
And we think that a good product must save all the pain in the world. Oh, this will do that and that and that and that's the one-stop shop. That's how the world work. Not anymore. You identify a problem and you solve this one problem. Look at like WhatsApp. It's one problem. Google, it's one problem. All this company, Amazon, it's one problem. And yeah, that's
and
like,
it calls Alexis MVP for a reason, minimum viable product. Somehow everybody forget the M at the beginning. It get lost in translation, right?
yeah.
They don't and then Alexis, so when the whole thing got lost, when we got lost in translation, because I think that we have the high percentage of failure in tech businesses. I think because people are looking maybe to the wrong role models. They for example of Google, and that's the story maybe that inspired them. Or well, it was an era when you were working that some people from the .com they got lucky. I mind the VCs were giving millions for a piece of paper back on the day. Yeah. That has changed. Who's gonna write you a piece of paper now for an idea? Today, these private equity and venture capitalists, they have become very, very smart now. I mean, they're not stupid in the first place. Yeah. So, where do you think that we got lost in translation, and where do we think that people are looking up, especially in the tech space? I think that rather than look up to you, that will be helpful to read your story. That will be more inspiring and will be more close to reality. Hey guys, I have an idea.
Harry.
We start to show it up. We worked really hard. It went bad. We survived. We have to reshape for years until we got the attention of a private equity. That's more realistic what is out there, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is what I see that is more realistic how it works. I want to hear your story, Alexis. People want to read the Google one, want to read the
So that's a question. My first book was about exiting your company for 100 million. So my first book was about pretty much teaching entrepreneurs to speak private equity. My second book is going to be about the rest of the funding, VC, seeds, angel, etc. So ask yourself, and I ask this question, and pretty much every entrepreneur got this wrong. What are the 3 criteria that going to make a VC interested in first rounds? And they all come: product development, execute, care. I'm interviewing tons of you right now, and they said, "What are?" That's all they care about. Your idea is going to change 50 times. They want to see how able you and how you're going to work under pressure because they're going to put so much pressure on you. You have basically what they're buying right now is a track record. Simple. I never got any outside financing. Not a, now they're calling me. Can you believe that? They're calling me, hey, do you have a project? We'd love. They actually take the phone and call me because, oh, you did it once, you could calling me. So, like when you have an idea, present yourself to the outside world. Oh, I'm the best coder in the world. Nobody away in 5 minutes. So nobody care how good you are at coding. Nobody care what you did, what you do, what you. They care a little bit, but they basically care on show them that you have the ability to work, to adapt, to not confuse what's urgent with what's important, to recruit A players. Like that's how you present your company.
Alexis,
And
can you repeat the three things? The three things that I'm looking that they only care about?
management, management, management. Who is running this? What's the company is? Who are the founders? How many are there? What's going to happen when they're going to fight? Is there one that has, oh, I have 3 founders, we have 33% each. No, thank you. I'm not investing. I'm not interested. I'm working with my wife. I'm doing the coding and she's doing the marketing. No, thank you. We don't do couples. It's that simple. Like, I'm the guy with the vision. I'm starting with the guy who's good at coding. I have 75% of the share. He has 25% of the share. Okay, I'm interested. Who is in my advisory board? Oh, I have this guy who exited 2 companies. I'm interested. That's like management, management, management. It's that simple. Who are like an asset or are they going to be a liability? All the things you don't. I talk to cap table is horrible. Like, how did you get yourself in that situation? Oh, I'm looking for 500,000 and I have 17 shareholder. No, thank you. Too complicated. Just cleaning the cap table will cost more than the money I invest in you. So it's all that stuff, like, and learn how to make a freaking deck, like learn to them simple, like learn to tell the people what you want to do with their money. Oh, I want 500,000 because I want to buy lots of Google ads. No, thank you, because when you're done spending my 500,000, your revenue will plummet because you cannot buy the Google ads anymore. Like all that kind of stuff. You're asking to put a liability on your company, right? You're putting money on your company, so putting a liability. Are you building an asset? No, I'm not building an asset. Thank you. I'm not interested. Oh, but my asset is going to be my brand. Yeah, sure. You're going to have a brand that's compete with Facebook with 500,000. Oh, but and also the models. Oh, I have a genius idea. I'm going to get so much data that I'm going to resell the data. No, what do you have to sell that Facebook doesn't have to sell? Like all that stuff. Like if VCs are human beings. 2 years ago,
And probably they exit companies. Probably there are some of the funds that they have been like you, tech entrepreneurs that already have exited. So because people think that the investors are stupid, yeah, without knowing that one thing is a manager that is on charge of a fund, yeah. But when at the moment of release the fund, someone is gonna come, and that the person that's gonna make the final decision probably can be an employee or a partner for the fund, but probably already have an exit the tech company, and he knows what he's talking about, and definitely not stupid. And the thing, Alexis, that we see is, okay, I developed this product, give me 1 million, give me 2 million, I need it for marketing. And you're like, what? So you didn't try to sell it yourself, and now you go to sell it with my money?
and what happened
That's
when you spent my money? What happened when you're done spending my money on marketing?
And do you know how to spend it? Do you really
Yeah.
know how to spend it? Do you really even like you say, the Facebook ad, the ads, the Google ads, or the whatever? Well, if you know how to do it, maybe you spend, but you can be able to spend very little and make a lot of productive and build something. But if you don't know and you don't have somebody in the team that have experience running this thing, this money flies, because that's the other thing, Alexis, the acquisition. Because when you have a new startup and you're an stranger and nobody knows you, it's hard to find the first client. Tell us about this, Alexi. Because that first client, yeah, I see a lot that, oh, my code is amazing. If this person don't pay me that much money, he's not gonna have my product, and he has to adapt to me, and either he pay me this or I'll find somebody else. Yeah, we have a lot of startup founders that sometimes, then what happens is they never, that's the only one. And they spend years and never find another one, and they don't understand what's happened. So tell us about the importance of the first client, and how, and any tips how people can find the client when nobody knows you.
Because I have the client list, right? Which
That's
is something
amazing.
we recommend. Try to acquire a client list.
Wow, that
And
was
then,
amazing. Whose idea was this one? Yours?
yeah, we lucky we
Yeah, but you need to
was
have
the
the funds. It was expensive.
no, it was super cheap because the company had to be, well, I'll tell you the detail another day, but we had to be really creative thing. So we buy for a little less than 500,000. So that was really, really good deal. And they were generating
Wow.
500,000
Wow.
revenue per year. So that was really a
Wow.
good deal.
That was a
Um,
clever idea. So being creative to
yeah,
be the answer to find your first
yeah,
client.
always creative.
Because for the traditional way, Alexis, it's going to be very expensive, right? If you use the traditional channels in a tech, you will spend a lot of money and still nobody knows you. You are a stranger. Who's going to buy from, the people I think, oh, I got to spend. That's the other thing, Alexis, that I hear a lot. People have a startup business, okay? And they say, well, if I have 1 million, I'm going to only use 10, 20% for marketing and sales. And I'm look, this is this no, because that's the normal numbers of tech company. What the normal numbers of tech company already mature, like that already have revenue, and you need to the flow, but they don't depend on the client anymore. When you don't depend on the client, yeah, you spend 20% in marketing. But the problem is that when you're starting the company and growing, until you don't depend on the client, how come 10, 20%? It
Well,
was
and it's also very variable. If I hate B2C business, I hate it. Right,
but
I hate it because I don't understand it. Fantastic B2C business, but I don't understanding, and it's all
it's
about
expensive. It's very expensive to acquire this client.
action and oh,
It's,
yeah,
it's customer acquisition so expensive. Imagine that you have a SaaS product or
yeah,
something like this.
yeah.
People have an
That's
idea how much it costs to acquire the client B2C.
yeah. It's very expensive, and it's also what I tell my guys at the beginning. You have to focus on three things with your first customer. To answer the question about your first customer or your first customers, you have to focus about three things: customer satisfaction, customer satisfaction, customer satisfaction. You don't care about anything else. Like, and all the mistakes I made, and God knows I made many, but they all revolved around, oh, this project is so big, I don't even really have to care about customer satisfaction. And like, it's all about measuring and improving your customer satisfaction. Whether you are a restaurant, I mean, you've been in the restaurant business so high, it's not something I'm proud about, but I tried that as well. It's all about customer satisfaction. And you know what? They don't tell you when they're not happy. They just don't come back. It's pretty
Mm-hmm.
much the same with every business. They don't tell you, they just don't buy from you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Yeah.
have to make them tell
And
you.
that's the truth. Yeah. And then and Alexis, they are telling you, imagine they are paying you, but also reshaping your product. They are giving you clues how what want the product, how they really want it, and how much they're willing to pay. This is key information that you're getting. Actually, they're paying you, and on top of that, they're reshaping your product. Let me tell you a story. When I started my first business, we managed to sell over 5 million doing the property. And when I had the first room, I opened the door, And I showed the room and the person, yeah, and it was a guy, and the guy come and said, I said, do you want to take the room? He told me no. Said this room needs painting like this. I'm not gonna take it. So as soon as the guy left, I went to the paint store. I never paint in my life. I said, guy, oh, I need paint and a brush. I'm gonna paint. And I told the store, look, I never paint in my life. And the guy told me, yes, Harry, I know. Because for the question that you asked me, I already know that you never paint in your life. So anyway, I went there, I paint the walls myself, make a big mess. Room was painted. Next day, come another girl, a girl. I said, look, you want to take the room? And she said, no. I said, why not? They said, no, because, it's the room is cold, you see, it's just, yeah, it's clean, but it doesn't have anything. The girl left, and I went straight to IKEA. I said, okay, she wants warm. So I bought this duvet that they sell in IKEA that there are pink, orange, and red. Nothing more warm. In London, it's cold, so people want to see the room warm, right? So she want to see warm. So I put that shiny colors there. I bought a painting, yeah, from IKEA, the black and white, this one, and also a vase with a flower. And then a French girl came, and he says, I said, look, do you want to take the room? And she said, yes. And the rest was story. We sold 5 million with we run this. It was amazing. One day I arrived to the office, and my team told me, Harry, go home, travel the world if you want. We don't need you in this business anymore. We can grow it by ourselves. Which it was a day that I was a little bit confused and said, well, did I make myself obsolete in my own business? The first day I was confused, but the second days I was so happy. I said, I couldn't believe that I pulled this off, and I'm here sitting and they're running and growing the business by themselves. So, Alexis, the first client, right? They told me how they wanted the approach, and I was taking action. It was out of survival. I'll say, if I don't rent this room quickly, I'm gonna. I don't. I have to rent it, whatever it takes. Otherwise, it was. You know how much is a room in London? You already know. So imagine you have it for 2 weeks. You know what we're talking about. Imagine a month. So I couldn't afford to rent it to have that empty, not even a week. So the client would say, you want the painting? I'll paint it. You want whatever? I'll do it. What do you want? How you want it? I'll do it. I just want me to rent this.
It's such a common sense thing that's missed by most entrepreneurs. You know how to know what your client want? Ask. They will tell you. Ask. They never ask. How are your clients satisfied? Oh yeah, we reviews. No. How often pick up your phone? Hey, do you have time for a lunch, for a breakfast, for a round of golf, for a beer, for a coffee, whatever? And say, listen, can you tell me 5 things I could be doing better, differently and better? What's missing in my offer? What would you like to buy that I cannot that to you because I don't have it? Like, it's so easy. Just ask. They know. They will tell you. They love to tell you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I said. Why you don't want to rent my room? I say,
Yeah.
what? Do you want to know why? Yeah, okay. I'll tell you why. They will clearly will shape it for you. And then Alexis, that itself, yeah, especially in tech, Alexis, is because you can because tech, how flexible it is. So you have a product here in this podcast. In one interview before, listen carefully, one guy from Canada came here, and he invented a device looked like a phone. Imagine back on the day, I think in the 80s, and he invented this device, and this device was a time tracker, big like that. Yeah, it was tracking the times of employees, and he thought that he wants to, that how he will commercialize this is that he's gonna sell this device to everybody like a mobile phone to all the workers, and he's going to all the workers, do you want to buy this? It will track your time at work. That was how nobody bought one, zero. So he's stuck with all of this. And finally he find out that who's really interested in buy this thing, it was the business owners that want a consultancy and to lease all the device from him, lease, not buy, lease them for a week, track the time of everyone, and get a report. And that's what people were buying. They were not, the more than can do with this device is lease it. Why they want thing? They wanted just what they really want to pay is for the report of a week. For that document, that's what the market wanted. So imagine how far he was from what he invented, and he thought that, okay, I sell this as to everybody will buy, will track your time, will be good as an employee because you can track your time and you can be better at your job. That's why he thought that he thought by one, you see, this is gonna solve a big problem. We will improve the workers will never lose the job. That's why he thought. And guess who finally buy the product and in what form, Alex?
Yeah. Another example. You go to restaurants, right? You have your meal. After the check, the waitress or the owner, if it's a small restaurant, was everything okay? And what do you answer? Yeah, it was okay. Terrible experience. You say, yes, it was okay. The owners get value from this. Whether it was fantastic or just a relatively okay, that's not the question you ask. Excuse me, sir, can I take 3 minutes? Would you be kind enough to tell me what we could have done better with that meal?
Wow, what a question. Wow.
And
what a question.
clients will love
Amazing.
you for that. They love you for that because they feel, say, listen, the fish was fantastic. I think the meat was slightly overcooked. Thank you, sir. I wish it was a little bit faster. And, you get in for them. Yeah, everything was okay. You get no information. Same with your clients. Like whatever
Alexis, this information is so valuable that being there in the restaurant, I will be able even to give them the coffee for free. If they really give me this honest information, I said, look, I give you the coffee for free.
And by the way, you should always give the coffee for free. Nothing pisses me off more than when you have a 200 pounds bill at the end and you have to pay £5 for coffee. I'm going to tell you a
They
story.
have a big margin in coffee, though. I mean, we own restaurants, so
Yeah,
we know. Yeah, it's a big margin. It just costs anything. Yeah.
It's a big margin, but at the end of the day, it's £1, right? So I'm gonna tell a story. I was so pissed. I was in France in a 3 Michelin star, so which I hate, by the way. But I went, spent like food that was all for me that I didn't like. Anyway, there was 3 of us, and the invoice was like £3,000 because they ordered wine and everything. And at the end, it was when we could have a life. We order a cigar each and we smoke our cigar and we had a glass of very good cognac. And they came with 2 bills. One bill for meal, like £3,000, and one bill for the cigars, which was, I don't know, £100. And they said, oh, by the way, you have to pay the cigars in cash. I said, well, sorry, we don't have cash. So it said, oh, it's okay, you can come back the next day. So we had to come back the next day to pay for cigars. I will never step foot in that restaurant ever again. I call it like death by 1,000 cuts. Do you go? I mean, I'm lucky enough that I can afford to go to very nice hotels. How annoyed are you when you pay £17 for internet? Like what the F? In airplanes, like first class, you pay $10,000 your ticket and you have to pay £6 to get the internet. Like customer services. Do our airline ever ask you, like, excuse me, sir, you're traveling first class, you're a frequent traveler. Can you spend 5 minutes to tell us what we should do better? Like, it's such an easy question and you get so much information from that.
And then, and there's premium. You see, is they don't, the thing, Alexis, long-term value of a client. I'm glad that you touched this. Sometimes people don't understand the long-term value of the client, and just buy a simple coffee, just by a simple okay, you know what, by the way, it does say about the $6, don't worry about it, we cover it, we got you. You see, don't worry about it. I will speak with the captain and I get it done, and I get it done, something like that, even if it's not true, even if for them just to say, you know what, I will talk with the captain and I get it done for you. Can you imagine? You will fly forever. You know, the long term. I had a client, Alexis, that bought one room from me for £900 for 14 years.
Yeah. You come often to my restaurant. You're my restaurant. You are regular. Today, on top of your regular order, I got some nice mushroom for the forest. I did that for you so you can try them. The little things like really like customer satisfaction.
Yeah. Okay. And let's go deeper, Alexis, because this is another point. Yeah. Just to conclude that entrepreneurs out there, they are all busy and spending a lot of money because they want to bring new strangers to the business. And the people that they're already buying from there, that they already have the relation, if you enhance this customer experience and this customer satisfaction, you're gonna save a lot of money. Number one, you're gonna refer your friends. Number two, yourself, you're gonna go often. But no, everybody prefer to forget about this client that they already have and spend more. You know, I mean, you know better than anybody how expensive it is to bring a stranger to your business. You see? It's they put up money, effort, and energy to bring more new people, more new people, more new people, more new people, and the people that are already buying. Oh, okay, nobody cares about the customer satisfaction. Nobody cares. He's already in. That's it. And less than I'm a great fan of customer appreciation. I used to do a party with my tenants that sometimes they were very young. I said one day the drinks and the food. Yeah, next party I only bought for them the food because that was no good
Yeah,
idea. They were very young and
realize.
they drink a lot. But
But
Alexis, because I was doing this customer appreciation with them, they were bringing friends. I remember they were happy. They will never move houses if they want to change room or whatever. It was always within the circle. They would talk to me. I need something big. I need something smaller. I need this. I need that. But they were always inside. So why, Alexis, companies spend or let's rephrase it. If it's you, Alexis, yeah, and I give you a marketing budget of $100, how much of this money you will use to keep, build, and enhance the relationship with the client that you already have, and how much of this money you will take to bring more strangers to your
yeah,
I'm giving
so
you $100. So
the
then the
best.
audience have how you divide it yourself if it was your tech business to or
So
your restaurant business. Just
it
illustrate it so people know the budget, how
yeah.
ideally they should be doing it.
So the best example for that is phone companies, right? Not only
Yeah,
they don't invest on their existing customer, but they piss them off. Oh, new promotion. If you sign on with me, you get 6 months
six
free.
months free.
Excuse me, I've been a client for 5 years. You're taking me money, taking every month for 5 years. And these guys who was working with the competition, he gets 6 months free, and I get shit. That's really really bad. So it depends where things depend where you are in your company. Like, do you actually need new clients or do you need new revenue? And it depends of what source of financing you get. If you are a public company, many public companies are partly evaluated by the number of clients, which is a total mistake. It's ridiculous. It makes have 10 clients paying you 1 million per year than 1 million client paying you 10 per year. But like it depends where you are. But if I'm a restaurant, I would spend like 80 to keep my regular and 20 to get new clients because
Wow, I love this answer. Wow, I
yeah,
was not expecting this. I was
your clients
expecting kind of 50-50.
now your clients bring clients. Your
Yeah.
clients are you. It's free advertising, right? It's your clients are.
And like I said, a coffee, just a free coffee, it will
Yeah,
mean the world to them.
cost you
Even,
nothing, by the way.
yeah,
Cost you
we know.
nothing. The free
We
coffee
know
cost you
that costs
less than yeah,
nothing. Come on.
yeah,
Uh, Free coffee, free tea.
yeah, whatever.
It will be the word to them. They will invite all the friends. They will do the birthday there. They will the customer become your fan. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
think tech companies, Alexis, like Amazon, has been a very good example, in my opinion, that they did realize about the customer experience. They realized very quickly in the .com, like, hold on a minute, everybody's spending a new client. Let's do something here. Let's see the customer experience. Let's see what is the friction. If they don't like the product, it doesn't matter. We don't ask questions. We send a new one, and that's of it. So part of the success, Alexis, is because it's one of the tech companies that put a lot of attention to the customer experience, right?
yeah. It's again, it's all about customer. It's all about the referrals. It's all like again, if you go to a restaurant, know your clients, what they like, what they dislike. Like I have a client, my biggest client. He loved one thing, it was golf. This guy is literally giving me millions per year. And you know what? It's not. So how do I make him happy to be sure he gives me a little more of the millions net to his friend in the industry? Say, okay, so this guy, he loves golf. He likes to play with professionals. Make him play with professional players. And you know, it's like can how to satisfy them inside and outside the borders of.
Thank you so much. Alexis, somebody's in love with our conversation, want to know more about you, can they find you, how this process works, how they can read these books that you're writing, how they can find all this?
It's called Cashing Out. You'll find it on Amazon, and I'm lucky enough that I have complicated. So just you'll find very very that Alexis Sikorsky on LinkedIn. So I'm easy to, and like I'm gonna pay for that because I'm gonna get inundated with messages. I always have. Even if you cannot afford me, if you to use my services, question, just ask. I'll answer. I always answer.
Wow, that's amazing, Alexis. Thank you so much for sharing this priceless time with us. I think that entrepreneurs, especially tech entrepreneurs, I strongly advise you to listen this podcast twice, 3 times if you can. Okay. So because if you finally absorb and understand what we hear, could be in my opinion, of your company to win or fail. A lot of priceless information have been shared here for someone that didn't come out of the sky. It came from hard work, meaning he actually become an entrepreneur. Alex is like, sometimes these VCs, they tell to the tech entrepreneurs, call me your next idea. And they're calling to me, looking at me and say, Harry, what this guy mean, call me the next idea? I say, what it means is that you're not an entrepreneur yet. You are in that it is from reality. So he wants you to fail. That's why he wants you to fail, because he likes you as a person. But until you don't fail and you don't lose all your money, you're not gonna get how this actually works. So that's why they're telling you come in the next and is what Alexis. It takes time to become an entrepreneur, a good entrepreneur like you. You see, you need to. It's hard work. You have to practice, and the more you practice, the better you become. Yeah. And now making for you is easy. Could be just a phone call. Could be just an advice. Could be just but this is now. How you land in there is completely different ball game, and this is important everybody recognize. Okay, thank you so much. And for all of you following the broadcast, see you now on next episode of Unstoppable. How great entrepreneurs like Alexis break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.